Hello, this is Tazlon and the Lighthouse After Action Report 5. We are in Sacred Valley. Looking at the lineups, you can see ranked really high for a scout. So, whenever you're in a situation like this, you have to be ready to do a lot more than just spot, because you're one of the bigger tanks on your team, and you're going to have to do more if you're going to win, especially if your team's not doing very well. There is one artillery apiece. They have 3 scouts. We have 2. They have a fair amount of TDs. Actually, pretty good a mix of tanks on their part. On our part, we don't have heavies. They have 4. We have 0. We're a little bit stronger on TDs. So, in some games, people will whine about MN on this and say, how come they have all the heavies and we just have mediums? We're going to lose, but don't worry about that. I've seen a lot of battles where a team with no heavies beats a team with a lot of heavies. Just like I said, when you're in this position, be ready to do more than normal. I'm going to go down south and see if I can spot down there, and I'll show you where I go. Especially on encounter maps, you can beat the enemy team there, and you can usually spot them coming across the bridge. When you're in a regular standard mode, if their scouts try to head up into the village up in here right away, sometimes they beat you there and you have to retreat right away. I try to go through these buildings in whatever way keeps me from knocking a bunch of them down, because it slows you down so much. There's actually another little pretty cool place to spot from on a balcony off to my right here, but I didn't do it this game, so I can't show you. I like to come up here to this bush. The T-67 parks right beside it. I'm not certain why he's where he's at, because he's not using the bush for concealment, and so any scout over across the way is going to be able to see him. This bush is perfect because it lets you see from here all the way around over into this area. So you have a wide area that you can spot. Now look at the Chaffee. This is bad. Chaffee's coming right up the middle. Not one person is reacting to him. I clicked on him. Somebody else clicked on him. Nobody is moving. So off I go. If you want somebody to react to a tank that's breaking through, you have to do it. Don't think that everybody else is paying attention and going to intercede, because guess what? They aren't. Even the tanks I just passed, they saw them, they took a shot at them, but they aren't about to budge and actually go do something. If you need to go somewhere to get something done, you just elected yourself to go do it, because 9 out of 10 times, you're going to be the only one that even tries. So he's gone. He's too fast for me to catch up to him. For some reason, WOT has them going 77 kilometers per hour when historically they only went 56. So hopefully that gets turned back to where it should be. Now, up here in the north, we're greatly outnumbered. I'm not even going over there. By the time I get over there to help, I'm going to be 1 on 4 or 5, and that's not good. So I'll come back down here and join the team. It doesn't make any sense to go in a situation where you're just going to die. I have nobody there to help me. If I went, we'd just lose another tank and be farther behind. So I'll come back down here and reevaluate and see where I have to go. They're going to spot me up there, so I need to get out, move farther around. We have 2 TDs on the far side of the bridge with a Panther, I think, behind them, so I'm going to see if I can help them take out these TDs. It's real cool to be the hero and hold up a whole drive by yourself, but most of the time it's not going to happen, especially in a map like this where there's no good place to hide from where I was at. They already know where I'm at, so I'm going to be overwhelmed. It's best just to retreat, regroup, and find a way to actually help your team without dying right away. I'm just going to charge this guy. The J Panther's moving off. Now we're down 3 tanks. I'm going to come across the bridge, take out the AT-2, and then see what I can do from there. So here we go. Oh, there's another TD down in the little gully right there. I'm going to turn to the left. I don't want to get caught in a 1-on-2 with the 2 TDs, so I'll come over here and try to get concealment and then see what I can do. That 35 CA is moving up the hill there. I'm going to turn around. He's going to have lost track of where I am. I'll pull up here and see if I can get a shot on him. As he's coming up the hill, he won't be aimed in on me. There he is. I should get the first shot. And he's a 1-shot. He's gone. Artie should be back here somewhere. We've caught up a little bit. We aren't completely caught up yet. Most of their tanks are coming around the east side of the map. Hopefully our people are smart enough to turn around and face them. Oh, there he is. Need to get up beside him before he realizes I'm shooting at him. And he's gone. Okay, now we have a 1-tank lead. Black Prince there. I don't want to engage him at the moment because there's 2 TDs out there. I don't know where they're at. And I don't want to get caught where I'm shooting at the Black Prince. I really have no place to hide. I'm thinking the TDs came around this way and they're down in here. If they're on this corner and I'm right here shooting at the guy, they're going to take shots at me. So I want to try to come around here and sneak up behind him if I can. I'll come back around the edge of the mountain and see if I get a shot at the Black Prince from here. Nobody's seen me on this side, so maybe there's nobody that can see me from over here. And I pull out here. And there's the Stug waiting on me. If I would have gone in and tried to shoot the Black Prince, that guy would have been sniping at the side of me. And he pens me like I don't have armor, so when he lights up, somebody takes him out, and I'll come over and try to shoot into the back of the Tiger. Great position because I can shoot at him and I won't be seen. I'm gonna move up a little bit, try to get a better angle. They're both the heavies, or the heavy and the medium. Back onto the Tiger. Yeah, I shot behind him. Hey, there's the Su-85. One more shot will get the Tiger. And somebody takes him out while my shot's in the air, but now I get the Su-85. Bam, that's my 6th kill. Now the Black Prince is by himself. I'll go back and deal with him. So he's hauled down. He's in a pretty strong position, but I can still drop one on his head if I shoot a couple times. And there he goes. 7th kill in the game. If you noticed, when he disappeared, I dropped my gun aim down a little bit to where it was just aimed at the very top of the rock that he was hiding behind. And the reason is, especially this with a non-derp, you don't need to do that. With a derp, you have to, because if I kept shooting right at where his turret was, it's going to lob the shell because it thinks I'm shooting at that mountain behind it. So the added distance adds elevation to my shot, and it's going to lob it over his head. So what I do is I aim for the very top of the obstacle in front of him, and then hope my shot just goes a little high, and if it does, it hits him. It doesn't always work, obviously, but it's a way of keeping your shot from going way high and having no chance of hitting him at all. And it didn't hit, but then he became visible again, and the next shot hit him. Like I said, when you are up at the top of the lineup, you have to be prepared to do more than your primary scout roles. You are one of the largest tanks or most capable tanks in the fight, so you have to be more active in the actual fighting. I could have sat up there and spotted. The Chaffee would have gone off by himself, and who knows what he could have done after he killed our Artie. When I saw him, I already knew I couldn't run him down. He has speed on me, plus he has less distance to travel. I also knew that if I didn't go, there was a high percentage chance that nobody would go. Because people, if they notice him on the map, they'll turn around and take a shot, and when he moves out of view, they're like, oh well, I'll go back to what I was doing. What probably would have happened was that as they broke down the north, the Chaffee would have moved down into the buildings and spotted all the tanks up here and let the people way up here pick them off one by one without the Chaffee ever being exposed. And we would have had a massive defeat. So I had to go take out the Chaffee. And it's something to keep in mind because it happens battle after battle after battle. You'll see a tank break through. You'll point him out. There's other people closer to him than you, and they just won't move to go do it. So if you need a job done, you just elected yourself to go do it. That's just the way World of Tanks is. It doesn't make any sense, but that's how players play. After I took him out, I realized that the north was in the middle of collapsing. It wouldn't be long until it was just me up there, and I was going to be 1 on 4 or 5. So in a situation like that, you can't play the hero. Now, if everybody is like a one-shot, and you have at least a chance to get into concealment and pick off 1 or 2 tanks first, maybe it's a fight you want to make, or a stand you want to take. But in this situation, there was no way I was winning that battle. I already knew nobody to my south was coming back to help me because they hadn't moved so far. They weren't about to change where they were. And so the safest option is for me to go down and join the pack, get away from the certain defeat I was going to face up north, and live on to fight a different place. And as I went across the south, I realized there was 2 TDs over on the other side of the bridge. The 1 TD started engaging the Panther and moved away, so that left me able to go rush in and take out the guy that was beat up. And as I did, I saw the extra TD down in the gully. So I ran, got concealment back, popped up, took him out. Artie hunting. The Black Prince, maybe I should have stayed and helped, but I was worried about where the TDs were, especially because they were unknown right then. I didn't know if they were up in here or down in here. Either way, a TD here or a TD here would have killed me if I engaged the Black Prince. So I went around to try to figure out where they were before I engaged him. As I moved in, the Stug became visible, so I backed off again and came in. Their tanks were over here trying to come in behind our tanks, so I went up here and came in behind them. Got 2 more kills, and then went back and got the Black Prince. Situational awareness, again, is the key to the fight. I saw the Chaffee and reacted to it. I recognized the opportunity to go in on that first TD and take him out. I realized that if I engaged the Black Prince, those unknown TDs may be in a position to snipe at me while I was fighting the Black Prince, and I was going to lose that engagement. I knew that I had to get out of the north earlier, or else I was going to lose that fight. So it's constant situational awareness. The difference between an average player and a great player is 1 or 2 shots of damage a game, and the ability to remain aware of what's going on in the battlefield and reacting appropriate to it. It does not take very much to train yourself to constantly watch the minimap and see what's going on and then make good decisions. Now, it's hard to teach you how to make good decisions. That's just something you have to figure out. But if you're aware of what's happening, you have a huge advantage over almost every other player on the battlefield. Because every fight, there's going to be 3 or 4 people that remain aware. And some of them won't make the correct reaction. So if you are aware, and most of the time you make the correct reaction, you're going to see your win rate and all your stats go up tremendously. Practice situational awareness constantly because it is the single best thing you can do to improve your game. For this battle, I ended up with 1,930 XP, 6 spots, 856 spotting damage, 7 kills, 1,330 damage, and a top gun. Happy hunting.